Sai Ram, we will now continue with chapter 10. Baba's mission and advice. Sant Ramdas flourished in the 17th century and fulfilled to a great extent his mission of protecting cows and Brahmins against the Yavanas, the Mohammedans. But within 2 centuries after him, the split between the two communities, the Hindus and the Muslims, widened up, and Sai Baba came to bridge that gulf. His constant advice to all was to this effect: Ram and Rahim were one and the same. There was not the slightest difference between them. Then, why should their devotees fall out and quarrel amongst themselves? You ignorant folk, join hands and bring both the communities together, act sanely, and thus you will gain your object of national unity. It is not good to dispute and argue, so don't argue, don't emulate others. Always consider your interest and welfare. The Lord will protect you. Yoga, sacrifice, penance, and knowledge are the means to attaining God. If you do not succeed in this by any means, in vain is your birth. If anyone does any evil unto you, do not retaliate. If you can do anything, do some good unto others. This, in short, was Sai Baba's advice to all. And this will stand us in good stead both in material and spiritual matters. Sai Ram. The most obvious lesson here, of course, is talking about religious disputes that exist in our country, unfortunately, since so long. However, if we go deeper, it's not just about Hindus and Muslims. As the chapter says, it is also about don't argue, don't waste time, don't emulate others. And we waste so much time in petty arguments rather than things like yoga, sacrifice, penance, and knowledge, which are mentioned in this chapter as the means to attaining God, of self realization. So, it is a very practical lesson that we can incorporate in our daily lives all the time. It also says that we should not try to emulate others. This is not just about Western cultures or anything like that, but not to be bothered by anybody else's journey, anybody else's even spiritual journey. To really, really mind your own business, to really, really focus on your own journey, to obviously do well for others and support others when they need you, but your focus should be on your own self realization, on your own enlightenment and liberation. And Baba was kind enough to clearly mention that this will be good for us, not just spiritually, but also materialistically. So, again, it's a very practical lesson, it's a very practical advice to mind your own business. And I'm gonna practice that myself because I also get caught up in other people's stories and dramas. And today there is such an excess of information and so-called knowledge that it you can get caught up in FOMO. So it's definitely something we should all practice. We shall resume the reading in the next video. Sai Ram.